bloodbath. All right, that man is confident.
Attackers
So,
need to
let's
locate
see.
and defuse bombs.
On the attacking lineup, we have a very familiar sight for what we saw all day this morning and what seems to be the up-and-coming Fantastic Five. Capital, Sledge, Ash, Thermite, and Blackbeard. And on defense,
castle.
yeah, I was going to say, on defense, we're seeing a Smoke, Valkyrie, Jaeger, Brook, as predicted, and there's your castle on Kush. But he, I do believe, is running, yeah, a lump, not quite a shotgun. Valk is the only shotgunner on this lineup. There is one here, but this is, you know, the secondary weapon. SMG-11 is the main, so it doesn't
The
really
primary
count.
weapon for Smoke is actually the secondary
Yeah.
weapon.
As for the cameras that we're seeing from Valkyrie, though, everything so far is inside. First one was inside the control room bomb site. Second one was in the corridor, and third one is there up in the stairwell, and third one is at the site. Fourth one there at the end of the corridor. So all actually very much hidden inside the bomb sites here from Ferocity.
Yeah, and I think what part of that is going to be is for the fact that you can, if they're placed close to the windows, placed close to the doors, you'll be able to hear those footsteps, you'll be able to hear them moving outside on those platforms. And so I'm hoping that that's the placement, that's the reason they're being placed there, because once they're inside, you're going to know they're inside. It might be better if you're not going to use them for sound to get them outside. Try to take that little bit to get them there.
So, the attacking squad are already making their way in and across the car park pretty rapid. Held B on that Blackbeard is coming up towards the model room windows. Panda is droning the other building for Frenchie, who's already got through and cleaned that out nicely. But Kush is apparently running a couple of issues right now.
Saying he can't reload. There he goes. He's now able to reload. Just had to fire off his pistol, and he's good to go now, it looks like.
Looks like he's fixed it.
I do see it's still showing 6 bullets for his UMP 45. But,
yeah, actually, interesting.
The way the defense is set up right now, though, guys, is you're going to have three defenders on the top floor, and you're going to have Kush and Jaeger on that main floor. Because though Jaeger is Gun Havoc is going to be on the bottom, close to those garage doorways. Looks like he's just going to wait to see if someone's going to come in through the display area. And Kush is going to be making these little punch holes looking into jail. Now Gun Havoc's going to pick up Marathon, and Talon will pick up the kill onto Panda. That's going to be the Thermite and Sledge. Now I'm not quite sure if that box hallway or box opening got opened up, but if not, it's going to be treacherous for the attackers to try to overcome this and get the win here on this first round. It's a 5-on-3 right now, just over 1:15 remaining, and they do think they've spotted Jaeger down there, but Jaeger turns the corner, picks up the flick onto Frenchie, and Gun Havoc gets that kill. It's now a 5-on-2, and it is not looking good for Donut and Helby, who are the remaining 2 attackers, Blackbeard and Ash. Looks like they're split up a little bit. Valkyrie goes around, peeks the corner, does pick up the kill onto Donut, and that's going to be a 5-1 right now. Helby with the diffuser, trying to move into box, turns the corner at the wrong side, looks the wrong way, and
Zed, your
Zed tries
shotgun
to
works.
get it.
Use your shotgun, Zed.
Zed tries to get the deagle kill on him, doesn't work, gets downed himself, however, does not get killed. Kush finishes off Helby, and that is a 5-0 sweep for the first round. Ferocity taking the win on round 1.
So, why are we back on screen? Hello. Round 1 is done, and well, they're going to continue that on now. If this is going to stand, apparently Kush's not reloading is not an issue that they wanted to do anything about. They have their right now to back out and force a remake if they think it's going to happen again, but he's willing to give it a shot. They can still back out within the first 15 seconds of the next round if it is a continuing issue, so we'll see if or not he does that. But until then, let's focus on the Enix defense and see whether they can be as solid with it as the Ferocity one was. They are running Rook, Jaeger, Smoke, same as before. There is the Frost you predicted, and still Valkyrie, and sure enough, it's a Super 90.
Yeah, and so we don't see the pulse. However, we do see the 2 double shotguns we were talking about. Smoke most likely has a shotgun, but again, that SMG-11 is going to be the primary unless he runs out of bullets and doesn't have good ammo management skills. Again, we're going to see that Jaeger. Jaeger devices are key on this map because it is so small. There are only 2 rooms. The nades are going to come in from the outside, and it's a guarantee. You got to have those Jaeger devices, those ADSs in correct placement in hidden places, so they're going to be very effective. And then again, of course, you're going to have that Rook. I don't think the no Rook meta has evolved into a Pro League strat yet, at least in the North American PC scene. Whether or not it's making an appearance somewhere else, we'll have to figure out next week when we finish up some more matches. But looks like the reinforced hatches are going to get done here. Panda especially getting the one into server, and this is so he can sit out of the range of the window without being in the middle of the room there.
So, as they're all set up, the first 30 seconds of the round going through, it would appear Kush is happy with as he is. Whether he's reloaded or not, we don't know. But Gun Havoc picks up the first kill of the round, already up on those back windows. He checked towards the stairwell, he could see him right from the back of the maps room, and it is a nice, easy, quick kill onto Jaeger, taking him out of the picture within a couple of seconds, and they are off to a strong, strong start on their first Ferocity attack. Now, looking towards the floor below, it's still holding a Helby, but he's basically in the middle there, thanks to the fact that he's on his stairwell with the shotgun in hand.
Yeah.
Still got a couple of cameras up, so he'll throw it down right on the angle, and while he doesn't necessarily have to look through it, one, he's got a teammate to do it, two, it's very common for people to instantly see that and just shoot it, which would give away the fact that they are close.
Yeah, we saw Kush running in from the outside of kitchen, in through kitchen, into the map room. Did get droned out right there. Zed taking a couple ghost shots at the top of the stairs, barely missing Helby. And now it's going to be a nade up there. Does take out some of the barbed wire. But in the meantime, Donut's going to pick up the kill onto Kush, who is inside of that map room. And Donut
nice.
picks him up from underneath, right in the connector. Great shot. He does see Zed's head. Will pick up the kill onto him as well. And that is one flip side there. 4-on-3 turn of events with Donut picking up 2 kills there.
Helby's been down on the stairs, but that was Kush's hole used against him as well. Gun Havoc using that asphyxiating bolt, picking up the kill onto Helby after he was down. But yeah, Kush came underneath, used his Ash Charge to make that hole underneath, trying to move Donut out. Donut gets 2 kills from that spot, so very well done by him to turn the tide. Minute left on the clock then, and let's see. Gun Havoc is down to low health. It does have one asphyxiating bolt left, and he's looking to use it in the back of the room. That would have gone right out the back of the window and gone nowhere near useful. So he's going to smoke off the box now. B-Panda coming up the stairwells, Super 90 in hand. You can see the barrel, and it's an easy kill for Gun Havoc. He's on 3 right now. Every kill for his team has come from this man's para. Still got 2 to find though. Donut doing great inside connector with 1. We've got one more man, Frenchie, stuck at the back of the control deck, just waiting to hear that plant noise go off. Donut is right inside the B site now, but with 30 seconds left to go, they're taking the time to set this plant up with another thermite charge on the west windows. Blackbeard is covering a look at in, and here comes thermite going in the plant. The camera above his head can see exactly where he is. Donut's the man that's got to go for it. He does get tagged, but he stops the plant, and that's what's important. There's 20 seconds on the clock, and Donut, while he's low, has to do everything to keep this going. Gun Havoc is peeking his way in now. They're going to go on the aggressive. He's out in the corridor. He does get the down onto Donut, but he exposed himself to Frenchie, and Frenchie's got 9 seconds left to hold this. Donut's been downed outside. It's only Talon. Frenchie's going to get caught in this corner, and he won't be able to peek because it's Blackbeard. Gets him on the sprint, and the drop shot for the round with seconds to spare.
Seconds to spare, and Frenchie, great drop shot there. I mean, you knew Blackbeard was coming. You knew he knew exactly where you were. It was a double-sided psychology move, and you know what? He played it correctly. 3 seconds left. Blackbeard tried to make that push, dropped to his feet, and got the kill.
So, nice second round for either of these two squads. So it is 1 round apiece then as we open through towards the next round. As they do begin their setups once more, we do have one final little thing that I want to change on this screen that is a nice new feature. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back into the game as the next set of defense for Ferocity is going underway. Smoke, Valkyrie, Jaeger, Doc. No, Rook.
We are going to see the Doc. Doc made an appearance. Castle made an appearance the first round for defense on Ferocity. And then, second guessing myself, we've got Doc, who did make an appearance without a Rook. And it just contradicted myself when I said that the no Rook meta has not made it into the PC Pro League here. But here it is.
5 seconds left before.
So, again, we've got Deliken here having the shotgun. I'm sure Zed's going to have that shotgun on Valkyrie as well. Gun Havoc using his assault rifle, the only assault rifle on the defensive side. Kush, now I don't know if Kush has a shotgun or not. Playing Pulse, his still is very useful. And getting underway here, I'm sure it's going to be a great play when Kush makes it.
So, straight into the other building goes Frenchie and starts backing open that model room doorway. He's got drones swarming around it for him. He's got teammates on the roof, so they know that building's clear and safe. He's actually just scares his teammate, I believe, if the shots became rattling in their direction from there. Deliken is very close to being on the receiving end of those rounds, but there's a few extra solid walls between him and that shot to make it a danger.
Yeah, and so Kush looks as though he's going to be sitting right by the filing cabinet inside of the control tower. Scoots on over into the server room, and Donut's out here by the window, just trying to lay a couple shots in. Looks as though it's going to be Deliken trying to fire right back, both missing each other. And now Donut's moved on over to the other window. Frenchie picks up the kill on a Gun Havoc from the bridge outside of box platform.
So So spraying into the connector then, Donut is looking in through serve as best he can. Like he's at the back of the room, you would have just caught sight of him there. They're spraying left and right onto each other, but Kush gets one of the kills before getting traded out by Marathon. And a trade straight back, Zed getting the kill onto Frenchie. Delican had an easy spot onto Donut there before Zed teammates C4's his teammate. And they are down to a 2v2 as Helby's on the back windows and has cleaned out the server side. Zed counting his blessings, getting into this corridor. He doesn't realize Donut's in here with him. Does now. He just shot the shotgun off, but Donut is incredibly low, and Zed sprinting around the corner gives him a 3-second kill. All he had to do was come around with his gun raised, and suddenly Talon is in a 1v2 situation. Remember, the bomb sites are downstairs here, not on that top floor, and all of that fighting was over the floor above. Talon sitting downstairs in the room between the kitchen and the A bomb site is just watching this trapdoor by the server control desk, and he has a minute to hold.
And this is going to be Doc with full health. Again, if he gets downed, even if he's the last individual, he can res himself back up with his device, start again with 75 health. However, most attackers aren't going to let that happen when they know it's a Doc. So, Helby playing Blackbeard in server right now, I'm sorry, in the jail cell, does have the diffuser, is going to move on over. And we've got Donut, who fell from server. He's being spotted right now by a Valcam. They do realize he's there, and this is the time for Helby to get that push in. They're all distracted onto Donut. Looks like flashbangs are going to go in, going to blind Doc, and they're going to make this push in. Donut's going to come in from behind that closet, take a look, and Talon is just stuck right here in the corner of map room, being swarmed by Donut and Helby.
Talon has a perfect Val camera on that doorway there, so he knows he's now safe to peek around. 20 seconds on the clock. He gets the kill onto Donut. Now he needs to look for the planter. He sees him in the corner. Tagged him, but he's got his shield up now because the plant is complete. Helby's got Blackbeard shield in front of his face, but not enough health to survive any kind of body shot. All Talon's got to do is land one round onto Helby, and he will be downed. Meanwhile, Talon's got a lot of health to his name. Helby's back out in the corridor, and the Val comes out. They will help feed this info to the Doc. He's going to come back around, sees the shield. He can revive himself. Doc is better than Rook right there, right then, and the defuse will come through. This time, more than enough time.
Yes.
Happily secured round for Ferocity Esports, 2 rounds to 1.
Great job by Doc. Again, Doc choosing wisely right there. That choice to pick Doc was very wise. You saw exactly why Doc's ability is tremendously powerful and why this team decided to choose it. It's for those one-on-one moments just like that where Doc needs to get himself up. You saw that trade happen. Blackbeard went down and so did Doc, but you know what? Doc's got that ability to come back up, and he did. Getting the win for his team. Now it is 2-1 with Ferocity taking the lead here.
So, another solid defense round. I talked about earlier how that is statistically the stronger side here on PC Pro League settings, and so far it's sticking true, but it is coming down to the wire in every single round. It could not have asked for a better opening to the game.
Attackers need to locate
Coming back now into Enix's second defensive round, also down to this floor below. Remember, all but one defender, that Doc, died on the floor above for Ferocity's defense. Everyone was upstairs trying to hold those trapdoors, trying to hold the floors above, and well, ultimately failed, but Doc was there to save the day. As the Eanix defense takes shape, how are they going to do it? Are they going to have quite so many people upstairs? We're going to have more or less. They do have a Doc here instead, sorry, a Rook instead of a Doc.
Now, if I was Eanix right now, I'd want to pay attention to what type of operators the attackers are choosing. And what I'm not seeing from the attackers is I'm not seeing a Twitch, and I'm not seeing a mute. Or, I'm sorry, a Twitch or a Thatcher. This is where you want to look for that mute. You want to look for that bandit. You want to do those swaps if possible, because that's going to be where you can get the most benefit and keep a hold of that top floor for a longer period of time. Even if you can't hold it for the whole duration, you're going to be able to hold it off for a longer period of time going against the attackers.
All right, Enix leaving their Valkyrie, Bandit, and Jaeger upstairs. So just the 3 of them, and then playing the rest down. Now we're looking at that same standard attack 5. We're going to follow Gun Havoc because he has been the first man in on multiple occasions now. See whether or not he can make that work again. So, up onto the top windows, or the map room windows, he starts cracking it open just to put a bit of fear and a bit of panic inside the guys that are in that room as the grenades are coming up from underneath there. Sledge cooking it perfectly, starting to pre-nade, set determined spots, and Havoc doing the same thing. This is the beauty of having double grenade setups. Does get right up into the corner of this hidden room, but no one's in there. Inside the kitchen.
Yeah, and that's going to be that typical closet that people will hide into. That's between map and kitchen. Looks as though Rook is going to get picked up from underneath in garage by FPS Zed playing Sledge. Nice shot there, taking off one of their biggest, heaviest defenders there. down to 2 defenders with 3 health, or with 1 armor, and 2 defenders with 2 armors here.
Yeah, so Rook up on that very predictable spot inside the room, sitting it on that cabinet inside the back of maps, thinking he's safe from the floor. No, just make a hole in it like Zeb did with his grenades and shoot the man up through it, and it worked out very, very nicely. 1 minute 20 on the clock though, and with only 1 person killed, this is going to be a tougher push here for Ferocity if they can't find any more. Helby and Marathon still on the top floor, but they do have trapdoors to rotate down at speed if it's needed. Meanwhile, on the bomb site, B-Panther's watching this stairwell, which I'm sure he knows Zed is in, and they're both holding it closely. He can have it come in through the window, but there's another man waiting there in Thermite's form, and Blackbeard peeking from the staircase. Inside he goes, and Helby's shotgun doesn't have the range to do that anymore. He's going to start picking up the Blackbeard, but Donut is standing there in the kitchen waiting for him. He gets the Lycan down. It is now back to a 2v1 in favor of the defenders. And what a beautiful shot from Kush. Helby does not have the health to take this 1v1. It's 40 seconds on the clock. All he's going to do is keep range. He's against the shotgun, and I'm sure he knows it. Keeping an eye on the site, 35 seconds. This is plenty of time for him to play with. Kush has all the health in the world as long as he can keep a distance here from Helby. Going to breach the wall, pushes him around the corner, and it's perfectly played by Kush. 1v1, keeping Ferocity ahead.
I think with that shotgun, as that shot just happened, you saw Kush shoot his device. You know it's going to be a fake. They're going to have to get that kill, and he should have pre-fired the door to realize that, hey, that's a fake going through the wall, that's just a distraction, turn, face the doorway, and pre-fire that with your shotgun. Unfortunately, Kush was just too quick with that flick, got the shot onto Valkyrie, and down he went.
So, on to attack go Eanix once again. The first time these two teams have been split apart as far as the scoreline goes. It's time to see the repeat bomb sites too, as Ferocity are back up onto the top floor. Once again, they're running the same setup they ran on this floor above, so it looks like Doc is going to be limited to that middle floor bomb site. Honestly feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it is because of their 4-man top floor defense. The Doc alone underneath is there because he can revive himself, gives him a longer time in a pressure situation. He is still very, very heavy and tanky, 3 armor, still has a great weapon, and therefore belongs or can behave better in a solo situation.
And even so, definitely, totally 100% agree, but even more so, if Doc's inside a kitchen, one of his teammates gets downed in server, that device, that syringe goes through a breachable floor, he's able to revive his teammate from a different level.
So yeah, there you go. That's why it's a Doc when they're on the bomb site below. But as it is, they're not. They're upstairs, so they've got Rook back. Zed is throwing his cameras around. Very much internal cameras again. They do not mind letting their attackers inside the building. They don't want to keep track of them while they're outside. And once again, Frenchie comes across from the other building, does immediately get towards that wall. And if he had shot when he first put his crosshairs on, he'd have seen Gun Havoc. Instead, he took his time, but Gun Havoc still showed him his head. So good job, Frenchie, with another quick kill for the Eanix attack.
Perfectly lined up there. Not quite sure what Gun Havoc was doing, cornering himself into that display case, but you know what? Frenchie was there, got the door open, saw Gun Havoc as he was trying to peek for some unknown reason, and that cost him his life. But here we go, Frenchie rappelling down to the garage floor. Looks as though he might enter in through those bottom garage stairs, but not before he's going to come up to the west windows. And again, open up some of them so that the people on top of Red Building will have a clear line of sight. Now, Talon is behind these circle monitors. These circle monitors you can shoot through, and Frenchie knows that. So he's going to first drone it out, see if he needs to waste a couple bullets. He's going to spot Rook here in just a few seconds. Except for the fact that Rook rotated around. He's in now connector, and Frenchie now thinks it's clear, but he does see Talon there, and he's going to come up here and pre-fire this right after the asphyxiating bolt here.
He knows where he can fire this to make sure he's covered in there. He may even... Oh, he gets Talon who tries to sprint through the gap. Easy, easy kill. Getting through one of those bolts is hard enough. Getting through two when you're stacking up the ticks is down impossible.
Yep.
Frenchie getting an easy, easy kill, pinging Talon in there. He now knows Zed is behind the bomb, and he's going to go for the grenade. It's going to bounce up. It's going to come down, but the C4 came out from...
C4 scared the bejesus out of him.
The C4 stops the grenade. I want to see if it was in midair. I'm sure we can get it clipped. But either way, it bounces it back down. The damage combined doesn't do enough to really hurt Frenchie, but it keeps him off the window and gives Zed a chance to reposition, and that's huge. Kush has also managed to pick up a kill for the defending team, and that's going to help them out a lot, considering they were yet to get anything. The Thermite is out front, and the Desert Eagle's back. Delican and Kush picking up kills for the Desert Eagle's back in play for Zed. He hits that Thermite, but not too hard from that range. And Delican gets another one, and suddenly B-Pan is the only man alive. It's all fallen apart for Eanix, and Zed's still going for that 1D. Underneath him, Kush is keeping an eye on the heartbeat, keeping a track on him and making sure they know where he's going. He's heading back across the bridge, and if Zed watches to his right, he might just catch an eye on him, but Delican is going to go for the fight in a more aggressive fashion. Peeking very, very aggressively. Kush is still tracking underneath them. B-Panda, the man outside, is waiting for the smoke to dissipate, but with 30 seconds on the clock, he can't do that all day. He needs to think of a new way in here.
And he's kind of stuck out here. They know he's got one of two ways to come, and Pulse is going to know.
Lycan's there, easy peasy.
Attackers neutralized.
And that was what you see Smoke being utilized for. I mean, Smoke is one of the best defenders to prevent a push, to slow down the attacks, and to stop a defuse in a time of great need. And you saw those smoke charges pushing Thermite back. Now, Thermite could have tried to make a charge in there, one-on-one with the Deagle in the back by the control monitors, but with that smoke, it pushed him out, forced him to go into the box hallway, and that's where Smoke was just waiting for him as Pulse was calling him out from underneath.
Ferocity are on the verge of running away with this. It's looked very, very close in the opening 3 rounds, but suddenly, as if almost out of nowhere, in a 4v1 situation on rounds. Ferocity Esports have one more to pick up before this map is in the bag, and they're attacking this top floor bomb site. They've done it once before, but weren't successful. So we'll see whether or not the Enix guys can hold on better this time round.
So again, we're going to see the drop hatch inside a box getting opened. You already saw it looks like Panda opening up the wall between the box hallway and box itself. Now Panda had just placed his charges there, which to me makes me know that he's not going to try to bandit swap him. He's going to give him that if they can get it open. But again, there is no Twitch, there is no Thatcher, so they're going to have to Ash from underneath if they want to get that kill, or want to destroy those batteries.
Looking here and getting complete. Meanwhile, downstairs, Helby and Marathon are running around. Helby's just putting the last couple of cameras out and then heading back to that staircase where he played before. Marathon's already gone straight back up top, so we are getting a 5-man top floor defense from the Eanix squad. Meanwhile, we're right on board with Gun Havoc again, as he is going to be more than likely the first man inside the building once he's finished droning this maps room. And up onto the wall he already sits. Cautious of the server windows, but he's got a teammate there now watching it for him, while still keeping a little eye on it. Double checking that these windows and room are clear. This is obviously where he droned, and then he will be able to grenade up through the floor. This is the back of the server room. If someone is sitting there, it can get him. They aren't, but they are already spraying down through the floor in his direction. It's Jaeger on the left-hand side above his head. Yeah, and Ash has made his way into kitchen, now into maps where he's always done. This is the same route he's pulled every time. But you know what? It's worked out for him in the past, and hopefully it's going to work out for him here. We do see Zed playing Sledge, again, downstairs, inside of the garage, trying to make some holes, open his way up into maps, and then potentially up into the box so they can get those batteries destroyed. Gun Havoc is now repelled on the west side windows, does take a couple shots, and will get down to about 40 health as he repels up to the top of the map. And we do have, I believe, Thermite outside on the box platform, ready to get that opened. Yeah, they're still looking for that small opening. Gun Havoc now on such low health is going to be in a little bit of a tough spot. Kush picking up the first kill of the round. In fact, he's already come in through the maps room and gets the man on the stairs. That shotgun at that range wasn't going to work, and that's why they switched it out to Marathon, but even he gets picked off at such a distance. Helby's gone right up and above. B-Panda here, you can see the decimation on the floor. This is where the grenades were flying in at, and he just couldn't stay there. And the floor below is well and truly in Ferocity control. Oh, Helby is pinned in that corner, but the trophy system will make sure he stays alive. But the crossbow bolt is going to be a little bit tougher to dodge from. It's going to come straight in, and he's immediately downed and finished off. Gun Havoc, the easiest kill he'll get all day. Which is saying something considering the one he got on round before. Yeah, and he hopped onto his camera at the wrong time. Now, it takes about 1.2 seconds for that asphyxiating bolt to kill him, but already low health. Stuck in a corner, not moving on a camera, he's downed even quicker. So he does realize it looks like Gun Havoc did spot Bandit in the back of server, and now he's got his feet exposed underneath of him. Gun Havoc is just waiting to see if there's going to be a push from that bottom or from that drop hatch that he was originally sitting on. Gun Havoc's main role here is just to sit tight, add a little pressure, while the rest of the team pushes to the top of the stairs and pushes in from box. They realize that someone's going to be tucked back behind those control monitors like they were before. This is Frenchie's spot. This is where he's comfortable. And Gun Havoc still outside the window. Looks as though Zed has moved into box through box hallway up at the top of the stairs, and the plant will go down. Diffuser will get planted by Delakin. Zed goes down. Talon is going to be covering Delakin as that plant goes down. Gun Havoc outside on that platform moves into the hallway, picks up the shot onto Donut. Crossfires. Frenchie gets a shot onto Gun Havoc, and then Talon picks up the trade onto Panda. It is now a 4-on-1. The diffuser has been planted, and it's going to be Kush trying to get the shot onto Frenchie. Frenchie is so incredibly stuck in this corner. The plant is down. There's a man on the other roof. There's a man in the other building. There's a Blackbeard at the hole in the wall. They haven't even revived Zed yet. They don't need to. He's pushing with his pistol in towards Kush, and he's waiting for him. Easy kill. And that is Ferocity Esports in the bag, map number 1. And there we saw it. Well, that's why Ferocity's here in the Pro League. Coming on strong. Now, they lost one map. They lost their first attack. But you know what? They realigned. They readjusted to what
Phoenix was doing on defense, they came back and they said, you know what, we know how to address it. Let's get this strategy underway and get the win. So without any other deficits happening, it became a 5-1, and Ferocity took the win there.
It felt like in that last round, things were still going very slowly. It was taking a long time for them to get anything done. They only picked up the 1 kill. They traded back a man. It was a little bit rough for a couple of moments, but it still came down to the last 30 seconds. But everyone at Ferocity knew where their place was. They didn't get panicked. They didn't rush with the timing. They didn't get flustered because they were running so low. They just kept their cool, did their jobs, trusted in their teammates, and ultimately that results in a very, very clean finish.
Yep, and as you noted there, it was very slow-paced, but it was slow-paced and under control. It wasn't slow-paced because they didn't know what they were doing, because they were struggling. They were slow-paced because they knew exactly where everyone was. They knew what angles, they knew where the defenders were. But here's that asphyxiating bolt by Frenchie through the west side windows into the connector, picked up that kill, and here's another one by Gunhavoc, countering that, killing Helby. And here it is, Frenchie in the last round picks up the kill, but also gets killed.
Yes. He stops mid-burst because he knows he's about to shoot the shit out of Bandit, and then picks it up afterwards to still pick up the kill when Bandit's moved on through. Now, I'm sure that one bullet was enough to scare the crap out of the poor guy, which has stepped him into the wrong shot, but hey-ho. We're now heading towards our second map. It's going to be Clubhouse, and after seeing that kind of coordination coming out of Frosty already, I fear for poor little Eanix right now.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that Clubhouse is difficult for defenders or for a lurking defender is because there's a lot of ways to cut off the movements of the defenders. So what I see for Ferocity doing here is going to be utilizing those drones at the very start of the map, even just during drone phase, even before the attack phase, droning off, sectioning off portions of the map to say, there's no lurker in here. We've droned it out from the start. We don't need to waste time. And they're going to push the attack. They're going to push Eanix to the limit, saying, okay, we're going for a fast plant, we're going for a fast push. That drop hatch above Motorcycle Room is going to get opened, and that's what's going to happen. So again, Ferocity is going to start out here on the attack side, and we do see a sledge instead of a buck, which is typical what you'll see. Sometimes players will play a buck, open up that kitchen floor, but I don't foresee Ferocity going for that.
So on our defense, we've got the same very much standard setup from Enix here as we did on the last map. Valkyrie, Pulse, Smoke, Jaeger, and Rook. We do see occasional teams running a castle down here in defense for some spots. We'll get into that a little bit later if we see it or what. But first, talk to me about why Pulse is still picked, because a lot of people thought he was going to die when the patch nerfed down his gadget centers.
So the Pulse's ability here is not for his shotgun. He's not being used for his weaponry. He's being used for his information. And because you've got inside a church, you've got that wall separating you and those main stairs when you're inside a church, you're within that 9-meter radius. And within that same radius, you're within range of the motorcycle. So from there, from one spot inside of that church tower, you're able to spot if someone's at the bottom of those main stairs or someone's in that motorcycle room. And it's valuable information, almost invaluable information for a defensive team, which is why he's still picked.
But why is he playing in the gold room, not the church?
So this is another strategy for it, where he might be trying to utilize that C4, tell his other team for the C4 to throw up, hey, there's someone in kitchen, there's someone in the main hall, top floor, above bar. Let's try to get that C4 planted, C4 underneath, kill them without them even knowing.
And the construction tunnel.
Correct.
So yeah, he has to move around a little bit more, but yes, there are so many spots which Pulse can pulse with his new shorter range from a completely safe position since the changes. Still on this map, he has come back to being a choice operator. It's a trade thing. It's not a must pick him on every spot because he's so damn strong. It's that he's still good in some specific bomb sites, but not all of them. This is one where he works really nicely, and as you can see, he's following Zed down this staircase perfectly, and that's going to give Helby a chance here to peek out into it and try and take the fight. He didn't go all the way. He didn't go straight in for it, and both of them come out unscathed as a result. But you see Zed is down to 5 shots in his main weapon, is now cautiously edging his way into the strike.
Yeah, and like you said, Pulse is going to be stuck inside of that armory. You've got Zed down here utilizing those nades. He, I believe, broke up some of the barbed wire. Still has a little bit to go through before you get to the motorcycle room. But Deliken's going to drone that out for him, drone out the main hall, call if there's going to be any kind of murder holes through the left side of that armory wall. And we do see one or two. Looks as though Panda's going to be looking towards the garage hall, which is where we saw, I believe that's Blackbeard down there. Capitao's going to throw an arrow, though, or throw a nade down there. Panda picks up the kill onto Talon. That's going to be a dead Blackbeard.
Over that range, I'm going to guess between the pixel peak on that generator, because that's insane.
Potentially.
What a shot.
That tremendous shot, and that's why this team here is one of the best teams in the Pro League. So what we're going to see here, again, it's a 4-on-4 right now, 50 seconds left. Zed picked up the kill on the donut, but Deliken's going to drop down the motorcycle hatch with the diffuser in hand. Deliken's going to have to open up the wall to his right if he wants to get in time. 40 seconds remaining on the clock.
He's got to make sure that that gold area is clear first. Zed's killing off B-Panda in the corridor, and that is the man that was in there, but we know that they don't. Kush getting a kill onto Frenchie at the same time. He's fixed for the knife. LB gives a free shotgun blast to the face for it, and Zed's been down at the end of the corridor too. So now it is all on Kush. We've seen him clutch before. He's got to do it again. LB's inside blue, and there's a massive hole all over the place. He sees the gun, and a shot from Kush. LB's face did not last long after coming through that hole.
I was sure that Helby was going to come in through the close wall into Armory and pick off Kush, but it didn't happen. Kush went into church, Helby turned the corner, his shotgun exposed himself, and Kush was able to get that flick right onto him, finished off the round. Ferocity taking that first one.
Nice, convincing round, but to be fair, Eanix showed some moments of brilliance, some brilliant aim in some of that round. They just need to be a little bit more coordinated on where the push was coming from Ferocity, I feel.
Yep.
It's very rare that you see teams actually push one player from every single spot. One from the bar dropper, one from the stairwell, one from blue, one from construction, and then one little person floating between the three.
Is that where
and
Ash came from,
making
the
it
construction?
work. I believe so. Looking at where his positions were, unless he came very late down the stairs and breached into Armory and ran through that way.
Yep.
He came from that kind of angle. So for someone to, like, for a team to spread out 4 players through every different doorway and not get crumbled by 1 or 2 of them getting picked off and everything falling apart, that's incredibly tough to pull off from the attacking perspective.
Correct.
Ferocity have shown they're a great team and shown they can do it straight through there, but with a little bit of tweaking, it's not hard for Enix to fix that. So they need to be ready and on point for their next defense.
Yeah, and with that, like you said, it's not hard for Enix to fix it. It's just a matter of, are they going to recognize it in time for this match? I'm sure they're going to go back in these VODs, watch the mistakes that they've made, and adjust accordingly, but it's not going to be enough if they don't recognize it during this match.
So let's have a look at this FBS Zed Bandit. You called it in the pre-game. I don't think it surprises too many people, but it is there in place of a Rook. They're going for the Bandit upstairs. He has placed no gadgets, no barbed wire or anything down. He's been spotted by a few drones, killed them off, and seems to have done that specifically to make them think he's lurking.
Yep.
And then gone.
So this is some of that reverse psychology. Like I had said earlier, Zed will be lurking, and the other team has got to expect that as well. So the fact that he got spotted is just reassuring to the attackers that Zed is lurking. However, he's playing that reverse psychology, knows that, hey, they're thinking it, I'm just going to fall back to site, play that 5-man on site like we've talked about, like we're going to do, and now they're going to set up for those angles to stop that push that's going to be coming here shortly.
Yeah, as for the attacking lineup, we do actually see a Thatcher brought in here instead of a Sledge for the Eanix squad. So interesting to see what their plan is. Maybe they're looking to get down those front stairs, breach in from bar dropper, and then blow the church wall, in which case you need a Thatcher to make sure that that church wall has no mute gadgets or batteries behind it, else that entire plan falls apart. And even then, yes, you can do it with a Sledge and a few holes above on it, but it's so much safer and easier to do with Thatcher.
Definitely. However, it is also dangerous even just going for that wall, whether or not it's bandited or not, because a lot of the teams will shoot a shotgun hole at the top of that entry point, at the top of that wall, big enough to throw a C4 or a nade through. And that's going to make it difficult for Thermite once he gets down there to place that breach charge, even if they're not in Armory or under kitchen trying to shoot across the hall.
This is going to make it tougher too. Zed is not just planting them and running away. He is there trying to battery trick it. He's got 2, oh no, he's placed 2, places the 3rd, and has now decided he's going to scrap it. So those will all be killed off just like that, I believe. That was all 3 gone as the flashbangs are now coming down. And we actually kept a couple of them. 2 of them picked back up again. So the EMP went down into the memorial room and he didn't quite catch too many of them. He is just juggling it back left and right. Meanwhile, B-Panda is placing his charges on one of the right ones, but it does get destroyed. Sorry, it doesn't get destroyed, it gets kept, gets saved.
He was able to cancel that just in time, but Bandit is there for it. Does finish it off, and that's going to be the last exothermite charge. Marathon looking in church from the motorcycle barway. Deliken there, turning the corner with the shotgun. Zed and Smoke, I believe, are all inside of church. You've got one inside of Blue Hall, and it's going to be Thermite getting killed by Deliken. Deliken turns his back just in time as Marathon turns the corner.
Frenchie, however, has got himself inside from blue to Armory, and that's going to be a very tough position for these defenders to deal with. They're all pinned in church, and they've lost their own spot here. They're going to get pinned in from this side. The diffuser's been picked up by Marathon. He's going to make a push forward. Helby gets another kill onto Talon. It's just a 2-man defense. Deliken gets another kill, but Zed is stuck inside their own team smoke now. keeping an eye on the Memorial. Delican pushes the other way, but he cannot go too far around that corner. Frenchie's going to beat him every single time with a shotgun versus that para. Donut takes down Zed, and now he's flanked. They get him across with the diffuser. Marathon's going to go for it, but an easy standout kill for Frenchie means Enix take their first round and level out the series again.
See, I don't know if you guys caught that, but what you just saw there, and you saw the replay right there, Frenchie threw the nade, forcing Valkyrie to push. Now, another thing that forced Valkyrie to push was the fact that Capital, I believe it was in that hallway, baited him by running just across the door, not hesitating because he knew he was going to be shot at, knew he was going to be seen, just ran right through. The nade came through at a perfect time that basically stopped Valkyrie from backtracking, forced him to go into Armory, which is where Capital was just waiting.
Yeah. So they knew there was no point even wasting an attempt to plant in church. You've got control of Armory, you've got control of that other side, just sprint across there. You know he's going to give you a shot, and it's an easy kill for Frankie when he tries it. And the grenade, just for good measure, to force him to push the thing. Very nicely done. Good on the fly decision making from Eanix. So, despite not being able to get through that wall with their thermocharge, despite it being battery juggled, they made it work, and that is the sign of a great team. So let's see if they can keep it up. They are back onto defense. We've already talked about how their last attempt was thwarted by a very, very split up attack from the Ferocity guys. This time around, are they going to be ready for it?
I think some will. I'm not entirely sold on the fact that everyone will be. I'm hoping that their angles are going to be covered better. I'm hoping they're going to be communicating more. They're going to use those Valk cameras more effectively, because those Valk cameras, now right now Helby should be placing some Valk cameras in some key spots, not to necessarily say where they're going to be at the start of the round, midway through the round, but to determine where that push is going to come from. And that push can be determined at the very start, at the very end, midway through. So you really need to think about where those Valk cams are going to be placed, because those pieces of information, where they're going to be pushing from, is almost invaluable.
So, I'll be making the last couple of holes, putting the last couple of cameras in, keeping an eye on these important spots, but upstairs, the bar is already being swarmed by attacking players. Kush is still up here, they're already inside and droned for a lot for him. Gun Havoc in too, these 2 3-speed operators rapidly inside, watching and keeping an eye on the spots for Delican to Thermite. He was shooting the
black guy there inside
of the
jukebox.
Like, he's shooting the jukebox because it makes an annoying hell noise, and shooting it stops it. So you're going to see the black guy that's hidden in there, because everyone shoots that anyway. So I was a bit unsure when I saw Helby place it if it was going to work, and yeah, that just confirms no, that's not not a good idea.
So Thermite did open up the hatch above that garage generator room. And it looks as though he's just communicating with his team, deciding, do we get that motorcycle drop hatch, or do we go for that wall by church? And
it's a case of waiting for how long, because they are slowly droning and pushing through blue, but there's no reason for him to blow that until they start getting control of it. Talon is unsure. He was looking at the back tunnel, and they could have used the other thermite charge there if he dubbed it clear and worth.
Actually are. It looks like Delican's going to go over there, plant that thermite charge, open it up. Panda has been droned out. He's going to retreat back. And now they're going to open it up and push in from there. This is a typical spot that you don't necessarily see Blackbeard pushing from. You normally see a 3-speed operator pushing in from.
It's something that can be very easily countered by Pulse in many ways. Old Pulse with a shotgun, because of his speed, he could sprint in there and shotgun him down before there's any real reaction. But now it's a little bit tougher. And when you're ready for it and you got pressure elsewhere, maybe so too. So Zed has droned out guys on the left-hand side. He's already taken a bit of damage peak in this corridor. He's going to give it another shot. Pre-fires over to the left, and now they know there's 2 in Armory, but with the Blackbeard pushing the construction corridor and Zed in this stairwell, that Armory position suddenly becomes very, very precarious for the defenders to sit in, and they're going to have to hold on tight. There's a minute left on the clock now, and Gun Havoc is still sitting here above the blue dropper, just watching into Armory for a late rotate around this way. Helby's down there on his left, and he does have the drone close by to check for it with a big crawl hold in towards Church. Meanwhile, Kush, still droning in blue as well, is up the far end of the pit itself, looking for a move. Delican has joined the Blackbeard inside the construction. 35 seconds, and this push is about to be explosive.
Yeah, so what you're seeing here, you're going to see Blackbeard inch up to that doorway by the construction hall, and then they're going to say, okay, guys, we're going to go. You're going to see Gun Havoc drop from that drop hatch. You're going to see Blackbeard pushing into that wall. You're going to see, I believe it was Sledge at the bottom of those main stairs, push in. And you're going to see all this come together really quickly in the last 20 seconds.
Blackbeard's going in, pulls around the corner, he goes for the C4, and that's not a good move. Gun Havoc's picked up a kill. Frenchie, Helby, and Donut all return one. Kush is pushed from the backside, and it's a 2v2 in a very, very short amount of time. The diffuser is down, and Kush has got to pick it up. Helby has been spotted inside blue, but he crouched his way in. He came in closer and closer with that shotgun in hand. Now Kush is on the plant, and he's got to hold it. He cannot come off. Donut has stopped him. The timer's going to hit 0. There's nothing Blackbeard can do about it. Good hold by Eanix.
Great flank by Donut. Coming in from that motorcycle hallway, came in through the entranceway, spotted Ash, got the kill, and Blackbeard was just toying with Valkyrie over there by the garage generator room. And so great distraction. You saw Panda, I believe it was Panda playing Valkyrie, just playing basically peeking with the ground dog, playing a little prairie dog with Blackbeard, poking his head up, popping back down, poking back up, popping back down.
Helby was Valkyrie, B-Panda was
Helby.
Pulse.
Oh, my bad. All right. Helby was playing
Gotta
Pop
give
Goes the
credit where it's
Weasel.
due. Helby, yeah, it's perfect. It's very, very nice play. He knows he's got to get close. He knows he's got to keep Blackbeard busy. It's impossible to kill a Blackbeard behind those boxes. So
Little bit of
you've
a
got to
tongue
get
twister.
right up in front of them.
A little bit of a tongue twister. Poppity poop poop pop.
Did you just wait till I have to call Biggity Big Poop, or whatever the hell their name is? It's glorious and I love it, but I'm gonna screw it up so many times.
So underway here in the prep phase. Again, bomb site's going to be downstairs in the church and armory room. Delican obviously getting this kitchen drop hatch. That's going to be a key hatch that needs to get reinforced, as well as the other two in stockroom and in bar. Zed's going to pop both of those. He still has both his barbed wires, still has both his, or all three shock wires. Now what I hope he's going to do and what I expect he's going to do, they've already killed 1 or 2 drones. Now it's time for him to go lurk. He's probably going to go back upstairs, see if he spots another drone. And it looks like he's going to rotate back downstairs instead. But I'm expecting him at some point to be lurking around here.
I suspect we're going to see another sit-back thermite battery trick play from him, because Zed is the biggest advocate of the battery trick never being dead. So we'll see whether or not that is the case, as once again we are seeing a very similar setup from the Enix guys, but no Thatcher this time. So maybe they have something slightly different in mind, or maybe they realize they're not getting through Zed's battery trick, they're not getting through that play, so they're just going to take the superior firepower in Sledge, which sounds weird considering he's got the same weapon in many ways on the main weapon as Thatcher, but with the SMG-11 as a secondary, that helps so much, and more importantly in this kind of situation and a bomb site downstairs like that, those grenades.
Yes, yes, especially now that you don't even need to use the Thatcher charges. You use a shotgun, use a couple bullets, open up above that wall. Sledge can then throw his nades up in there, destroy either the batteries or just force Zed out of there.
Bar dropper being broken up, and then of course flashbang down through the hole just to make sure any trophy systems are cleaned out. Third one will go off, so then that is clear. Sledge making some holes in the floor above the corridor. No one going to be directly underneath it, but Zed is there checking the cameras, making sure he's ready for it, and he is obviously going to try that jump. Notice as well that Kush is here in this spot, but he's got the water reinforced next to him, so he won't be able to shoot them. There is a big-ass hole above them, and he can throw his C4 up and over if required.
Yeah, but we do see it. Looks as though it's going to be Blackbeard at the bottom of that ladder in Garage Hall once again, but he's making an attempt by himself over there now. So Panda, again, opened up the wall, or opened up the floor drop hatch above Motorcycle. He does have the diffuser. I'm sorry, that's not Blackbeard in the Garage Hall. We've got Blackbeard down here at the bottom of those main stairs. It looks like Frenchie playing Capital is going to be down there.
Which is what you talked about earlier on, how Capital is great at pushing and taking control of that area, which frees Blackbeard up for coming to here. And now he's watching the corridor as they start to thermite, but Zed battery tricked the first charge. They tried to grenade up and over and stop it, but it's not going to be enough. The Lycan pushes out into Memorial and picks up the kill onto Donut and gets back with his life still intact. Going for the C4 now, it's not going to go inside the room, and even if it did, nobody's there. So he's almost saved by the bell, but we'll see if it continues. Talon is also close by. If the C4 is over the top from Pulse weren't enough,
get zapped.
there is an attempt from there, but Lycan loses his C4. B-Panda spraying into blue, gets a good kill onto Gun Havoc. Now Marathon's going to be there ready for the Delican push. Delican doesn't go all the way around though, but FBSZ will go the other way and take down Frenchie. The flashbangs are coming in with 35 seconds. This is going to be the Eanix push. Zed is now spraying the door and the smoke charge is there to help them delay. So with the flashbang going off, suddenly you can't push because there's a smoke charge. The next one's going to go out, and with 25 seconds by the time those are done, there's not going to be much on the clock. Zed peeks into the corridor and here they come. A great grenade, or C4 even through from Armory, and Kush takes out the Blackbeard, and it's suddenly down to a 2v3. Delican is very, very low, but he's got a shotgun and he's inside church, which is not an easy thing to shift. He's prone, they're going to pre-fire the bomb, but over his head go the shots from Panda, and he will take an easy kill to hold the basement, and we're back to 2-2.
Back to 2-2, like you said, and this is where that shotgun, again, is going to come into play. It's going to be very, very effective at that close, short range for those pushes at the last second, which you just saw. So, although this is a long corridored map, it's a very large and stretched and drawn out map. You can get those tight angles by playing smart with a shotgun like Valkyrie just did.
So, Ferocity back on attack, but now we're into a different spot. Now this shouldn't be a surprise to too many people, but we're going to the bar in the stockroom. There's up bomb sites are the sort of thing you'll see once in maybe a million games.
And I think the reason it would be one of two reasons. Either they were just trolling and picked the wrong bomb site, or they're legitimately trying to mess with the attacker, saying, okay, you thought we were going to go bar, you thought we were going to go basement. Let's start it off strong by going to this other bomb site, which you have never practiced attacking, yet we've practiced defending.
As it is, Enix are in bar and stock, and they have currently broken the drop down in between. And then let's see, we've seen a few teams having different ideas on how to hold this. Case of, do we hold inside Strip Club, or do we let this go open and just hold once they've blown the wall open already?
And it looks like because Pandas is reinforcing this exterior wall, they will be holding Stripper. We saw them
Some
reinforce
teams reinforce it, but then still not hold it. Just the fact that it forces you to use both thermite charges that way. So at the very least, once you're in thermite, they know you can't come anywhere else.
Yep.
But we'll see.
Yeah, and so they also reinforce the garage wall facing into the lobby by Stockroom. And what that's going to do, that's if there is a push towards Stockroom, that's going to prevent them from easily being able to get that crossfire into the doorway through that lobby. But we do see Helby and Panda shotgun, two double shotguns here, playing inside a Stripper.
Yeah, they did the second reinforce on the backside too. Helby doing this one, so they're definitely going to play inside and hold it. They're using that pulse in the front corner to try and check which angles they've got, and he has caught Zed's heartbeat above their head. That's the trapdoor broken. Nothing too serious with that trapdoor though, but it will mean Zed can head towards the gym if he wishes to go that way. Helby now watching the other back corner because they're waiting and listening for any kind of movement, which right now is only in the form of the drone, which is an easy kill for B-Pan.
Yeah, and the perfect counter to this is to get Blackbeard at the end of that hall in the doorway and just hold the angle. If you know there's two guys in Stripper, stay right there. You're able to basically kill two defenders without having to do a single thing. They know you're going to be there. They're going to expect it. As soon as they see you, they're going to be stuck inside a Stripper. They're not going to try to push that.
So Zed's got into the floor above, they've droned it, they've cleared it, and now he's making holes in the floor below to the previously and predictable spots that the defenders may sit within the bar. Meanwhile, at the same time, Gun Havoc is doing the same by Kitchen. He's going to grenade down onto Donut's head. It does dance straight over the top. Donut comes up while the next one's in his hand. It's a free kill, and Donut even managed to sprint away from the grenade when it's dropped to the floor and get out with his life intact. But now he's in and on the bar, which was directly under Zed's crosshairs. No longer the case, as Zed has moved into cash room. But Kush has evened out the numbers with a kill from the gym dropper himself in towards the staircase onto Donut. Drops in. I think that might have been a mistake, but he makes the best of it as he goes prone immediately. Got to watch his left side. Helby's around there. He's going to have heard him
does see
drop.
the tip of the shotgun, and Kush is probably going to hop right over that. He's trying to draw that attention, does draw it, but to his dismay, Helby will pick up the kill, and now these two defenders from Stripper will come back into bar. It's going to be Pulse and Valkyrie work on the way in, as we have Jaeger still above the bomb sites. It looks as though he's going to be inside bar, possibly inside a cash room. Picks up the kill onto Zed. Marathon not going to be on strong, and then it becomes a 3-on-2. 60 seconds remaining. Marathon gets hit from behind by Delakin, who's inside of the garage. Talon is now running around to partner with him, with his teammate, because there are only 2 attackers left to go.
They realized they didn't have the time and called out Jaeger's position is here in this small stock room. So now Marathon is in a very tough spot, but he does get the kill onto the thermite and escape because of this covered for it. It's now 1v3 for Talon. Now he is on Blackbeard, so it's not the hardest task in the world if they don't play this right. Top of the stairs, perfectly played from Marathon. He looks way too low down that stairwell.
And that was a 3-man cross. You saw Valkyrie inside of the, it was either stockroom or inside the lobby by the bar entrance.
Yep.
You had Marathon at the top of those cash room stairs, and I believe it was Panda coming up from underneath in that garage hall, came up from garage. That was a triple crossfire they had going on as soon as they knew Blackbeard was and where he was.
So, nice defense for Eanix. Arguably one of the tougher bomb sites of the 2 played on this map to hold, and they made it look relatively easy, to be honest. But now it's time for Ferocity to try and do the same. Bearing in mind, Ferocity won the last map, Canal, 5 rounds to 1. So this is a very different story already. While it looked close at the start of the last map, Ferocity ran away with it. Not happening now. Enix are really putting up a fight.
Yeah, and to be fair, this is actually Ferocity's pick. Enix had picked Canal, lost tremendously on it, but Phoenix, this is their, or I'm sorry, Ferocity, this is their pick, and Enix is showing that, hey, we can play on it too.
So, bringing in their reinforcements and see if they go anywhere near the church or the strip club with theirs. So far does not appear to be the case. They're going to try and hold up far deeper within the rooms themselves. Something that you talked about earlier on is that they love to put Bandit roaming Zed upstairs when defending the very big basement.
10 seconds
Now he's
remaining.
not on Bandit, but holding the floor above is another very valid strategy for this bar, especially when you're letting them get into strip club and then trying to play once they've already got their way into pool table.
So they have reinforced that drop head, which typically means they're not going to stay up there unless they're just going to try to prevent Thermite from opening it up. But typically what you'll see here, if you're not going to see Zed playing Bandit up here, you're going to see Kush playing Pulse. And that's just Pulse's information. He does knock out that drone, but now he's been spotted. They know there's someone up here, so he's going to rotate around, possibly go into showers. My guess he's going to go retreat back into the office, although it does he did reinforce that door, so he's probably just going to stay inside of this hallway here.
Nope.
And he's going to reopen that door, make himself have an out as some bullets come flying in through the wall. He's going to rotate over into the bedroom and just play it nice and simple, nice and easy. Marathon lit up that wall quite a bit, but now he's going to the top of the roof. He's going to open up that drop hatch, and it looks like he will be droned out by Donut. So they do know that Pulse is going to be the one up here. And Ash is going to shoot through that wall. You do see Sledge rotating around to that office. He's going to open up that drop hatch like he just did. Probably drop down, and they're going to try and push Kush here. However, the shot is going to come in from Frenchie, and that's going to be a kill from Master Bedroom onto the stairs. That is the third angle they had onto him.
It's a very nice push, but it does take them down a minute of time. Not a lot in the grand scheme of things, so we'll see whether or not they can convert this into a continue. The rest of the floor has been droned out and is now safe and clear, so they are going to be able to thermite that trap when they want to. They're just making normal holes in the floor at the moment with Ash, just so they can get an angle down to it, make sure B-Panda is safe to come and thermite it. He's already blown the wall open from Strip, and Blackbeard is going to be sitting in there and keeping an eye on that angle. Then go upstairs, blow that, and they can look to start making a push, maybe for a plant.
So a couple nades try to go in, but the ADS does deny them. Helby sticking around inside of the stripper hallway, and it's going to be just a little pixel angle that he's trying to hold on to, see if anyone's going to peek from that main bar entrance. Talon sitting right by the jukebox. That wall and drop hatch both got opened up. That's where the push is going to come from the stripper. Looks like Frenchie's going to get that final kill onto Deliken. Still a 5-on-3 right now, just over 60 seconds. Now you're going to see the attackers rotate around and get ready for that initial push.
Gun Havoc turned it around with a good kill onto Frenchie up through the floor, but the plant is going down now. B-Panda's inside the pool table, making it go through. Zed is close by, he's trying to get up on the edge, but can't see him, and he's going to drop down just as he ducks away, so they get out safely. Now in the corridor, Helby is peeking around the corner, and he's going to try and Desert Eagle him again. Zed, never gonna work, but Helby's holding on tight. It's now a 4v2. Talon is pushing towards it, watching the staircase above. He now knows he's got to peek inside the strip club, and there's a Blackbeard and a Thermite in there waiting for him. Edges across, and the ACOG hides B-Panda from his own eyes, and it's down to Gun Havoc in a 1v4. He's coming up the stairs, and the weights block Ash's head, but she can stand up for an easy headshot, and the Enix, with a successful attack, are on match point.
4-2 right now from, again, one of the teams that popped up, has been around for a while, but has just popped up and been great and fantastic. So, I mean, just great, tremendous, strong gameplay from both teams here. Ferocity looking a little stronger on Canal than they are on Clubhouse on their own map pick, but you know what? It's not over yet. It might be match point for Enix, but I've seen Ferocity come back. I've seen them hold it strong, and so don't count them out yet.
Time then for Ferocity to give us that gumph that you just talked about. Looking down into the church in the Arsenal room again, which Eanix did finally figure out how to defend after 2 attempts, which is what put us into the bar. But it's time now for Phoenix to see if they have any other attack strategies up their sleeve to keep themselves in this. Remember, they did win Canal, so they can get only a minimum of 1 point from this match. Nobody wants to come out in the first match of the season with 1 point. Everyone wants that full 3, and that means we've got to get overtime for Ferocity.
So here we go. Again, Pulse is going to be played by Panda. And for the past couple times that they've been in that bottom bomb site, we've seen Panda stick around underneath of that kitchen floor. Now, we've talked about why that's such a valuable position for him to be in. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try to rotate him around, because he is most likely going to use that shotgun. He might have the ump out, but sticking around inside of that church, that shotgun's going to prove very useful for him.
5 seconds to go.
As the last couple of seconds are done, we're going to ride on board once again with Gun Havoc as he tries to make his way in. He's been pretty rapid the last few times, and now that they've figured out the Enix defense a few more times over, could even be quicker again. Kelby is still on this stairwell. If he was there half a second sooner, Gun Havoc may have even already seen him and shot at him.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen if you get droned out while you're putting a late reinforcement up or a late cam up. You're going to get droned. You're going to have a quick push from the attackers. They know exactly where to start. They know exactly where to cut off those angles, and he almost got picked off.
So Gun Havoc going to head quickly towards the garage, take out these cameras, and come towards and help out the bar. Just check for VOW cameras while he can. Then I'm sure he will head down towards garage, pit, and blue, and be that man to push from there again. But there's the camera finally spotted out, and they're going to make way on towards this trapdoor shortly. There we go. Zed's going to go and drone down the main staircase as well. In fact, yep, down he goes. Keep an eye on what's waiting for him underneath. He sees Helby waiting right down and under, and he's going to back out and run from that, and then baits out the C4 that he knew was coming, and will then use the hole for a nice little bit of grenade.
Now that C4 we actually saw was very useful during the Xbox games last Monday. But here, we've got a little bit of a smarter player than some players we've seen in some past games. He was able to bait that out, and now he's going to use his nades to get off the barbed wire here.
makes a hole in the floor above him as well, ironically, but whatever. Gun Havoc still sitting here waiting and watching the garage bush, which Donut looks like he wants to come up.
Donut wants a piece of, and Gun Havoc picks up the kill on him and says, denied. Do not come and flank my team because I am watching it.
Nice and easy peasy done. Talon now peeking down through the memorial drop. They might be looking to maybe make this Blackbeard be the man in after they've broken open this trophy system. Give him a different bit of angle, give him the threat of a Blackbeard coming through that door, we'll see. Kush just spraying in towards Armory through the holes in the wall, making sure no one can sit anywhere close to those gold racks, while Gun Havoc is undoubtedly pushing in through blue, but from above and the dropper. B-Panda forced to dodge away from the grenades as Zed is still spraying all over the place from this front stairwell, but with 4 defenders left up, that means there is a weak point somewhere in this Enix defense, and Ferocity is just trying to find it.
Yeah, and we do have Delakin hopping on his drone, going to call out all the individuals that he does see in church, because that drone has not been killed yet, except for right there. Looks as though it's going to be Valkyrie taking out the camp. Gun Havoc picking up the kill onto Panda. Now a 5-on-3, 35 seconds remaining. Sledge has made his way into the hallway, and now he's going to probably open up the wall to his left, push on in into the armory site. Gun Havoc has dropped into that generator hall by garage, and he's pushed his way in. And is he going to spot anyone here in armory? Looks as though it's not going to see anyone.
Man on his left, he's inside the construction tunnel, I believe. There it is. He's down the man inside blue, but now Zed's going to go hunting for him. Frenchie on the reload, and Zed will take him out. He's going to sledge him for the kill, but Marathon's inside church, and he's in a 1v3. They haven't got the plant down yet, and he might be able to get this to work. He downs Talon, but Zed's there on the armory, and they do continue this round or map for one more round. Ferocity taking it back to 4-3, and now they get a defense of their own.
And that's where it's going to come down to. This defense is going to have to be strong. It's going to have to be there if Ferocity wants to take home the 3 points for today. If not, it's going to be Enix, taking home the win on this match, tying it up 1-1.
So, on to defense again. Go Ferocity. They can go back down into the church and the Arsenal room again. And on attack, Enix are bringing their Thatcher instead of Sledge. So they're going back to their first attempt. It didn't work when they ran the Thatcher. It did when they ran the Sledge. But we'll see if they figured out why and if they can use him a little bit better this time over.
Yeah, we see Gun Havoc's ADS going right there, and that is, you're always going to have an ADS on the other side of that door. That's why every single time when you're looking through that bar drop hatch, you're going to be seeing 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 flashbangs being thrown there to get rid of all of those ADSs, so that when the time comes and you're in that clutch moment, you can actually throw it and anticipate that nade going off when it needs to.
So, Zed is upstairs, of course, killing off his drones, doing the hatches, and will
10 seconds to insertion.
make his way back downstairs again. I know he's probably itching to play on the floor above, but when
5
you're
seconds remaining.
fighting for the overtime, fighting for your life as it is in this specific
Attackers have recovered their
series,
diffuser. Attackers'
play
objective is
downstairs,
to locate
play
a bomb
safer
and
with your
defuse
squad.
it.
Don't take any kind of crazy risks.
Yeah, if there was to be a team to take crazy risks, it would be this team.
Yep.
But you know what? They know the risk, they know what's involved, and they've comprehended it and said, you know what? We're going to stay here. Stay on site, 5-man on site.
They're missing a reinforcement here in church. There we go, yes. I don't think they're like doing it now, but it's there and done. So that could have been catastrophic if they were late and they'll completely miss that. Gun Havoc though down in blue, putting a shield up to limit movement from anyone trying to make their way through that angle and give himself a little bit more cover on his right-hand side.
And now that ADS that we saw inside of that generator room right by Rook right by Gun Havoc playing Jaeger is nice. For the simple fact that when you have Capital who's trying to push his way in, right, there is no Rook. For Jaeger.
Both Jaegers. There's 2 trophy systems.
There are 2. Oh, there is one right by his head. I was just looking at the one on the far side of him. That's to stop those flashbangs that are going to intimately come towards his way.
So up and above him, they are blowing the dropper, which is going to be, as you mentioned, 1 man standing above it. It is currently Frenchie as they ran B-Panda away. He, however, has the asphyxiating bolt, so when he does it like this, there's not a lot of space for that man down there to be, which is why Gun Havoc ran away a long time ago. Yep. So that trapdoor, you blow it open, blue control is basically in the bag for the attacking team. Gun Havoc has to make way. Zed then cautious once more and is looking to play games with his batteries again. The flashbangs and the grenades are going to come up and over the top. He's still cautious of watching and waiting where these charges may come through.
I think Zed has some high-powered sunglasses on by not getting blinded by that flashbang.
I think it landed behind the bar. But yeah, it's still a little bit jumpy. B-Panda above the memorial drop, which has been blown, so that means he doesn't have any more thermite charges. So They are going to try and make this work without blowing that wall all the same. And last time they've tried that, Delican has been the unstoppable wall trying to get through.
And so here we have Delican sitting again at the bottom of that mini bar. They now know that Blackbeard has dropped into that motorcycle room. Delican's just waiting for the push. He does have the angle. Looks as though Talon's gun gets exposed by Helby. Helby will shoot it just a little bit. Smoke grenade goes out and will kill Helby. I'm sorry, Delican will finish him off as that smoke grenade did blind him for a moment.
So Marathon up and above the blue drop is going to drop down in on there too. Frenchie came and joined in, and the side the bar, the spray comes in from Marathon. He takes down one. There's another one behind that bar, and I don't think he realized it, but the teammate Donut comes in to make sure they can get the job done. He downs one more. It's Zed inside the bar, and now Gun Havoc and Kush are 2v2. Marathon is downed on his backside. B Panda and Donut are all that are left standing for the attacking team, but they have control of the church and they have control of the bar dropper, which means they can get the plant down. Behind the bar is Donut. Kush will finish off the downed Marathon. There's no more information coming from him. Gun Havoc's going to try and rotate it into blue. He's looking at the bar dropper, but there's no one in there. They're on either side of that little bar in church, and they do all that's needed. Donut with the final kill. Enix take map number 2.
And great summation for that final round there on Eanix. You saw them get that rush, you saw Ash, you saw Thermite, you saw all the individuals on the attack side come together. Yes, some got killed, but they got the threesome back by that mini bar inside a church. They were able to